Hey cutie! Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. I am so sad. I just recorded a bunch of this video and then realized I never hit record on my camera. If you don't know, I write down my makeup every time I put makeup on my face, whether it's an eyeshadow only day, a full face kind of day, anything like that. I write down my makeup every single time I do it. Today is time for my most used makeup for October. These are the items that I've been pulling and using throughout the month of October, as well as I pull out my superstar products that I've been using throughout the month. So it's almost like a ranking my makeup in a way. It's like my most used makeup, plus I talk about the favorite products I used in the month. So if that is something that interests you, hit the subscribe button. I'd love for you to be a cutie too. I did go ahead and pull out all of my Project Pan items. Those get talked about in their own special project. We do not need to talk about them within here. You know I'm trying to focus on Project Pan items. This is just all the stuff that isn't necessarily in a project, but I've used it in some capacity within the past month, the month being October. So kicking things off, I have anything that I used over 15 times, and I have 4 products that I used over 15 times within the past month. The first item being something you saw me talk about in my unofficially panning video, the products I have been focusing on without it being in a project. Ripley is coming on my lap, so I don't know if you'll see his tail whack up. But this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Under Eye Concealer. This is in the shade medium. I really like this. It's a very thick, very full coverage concealer. When I use this, I typically don't need to put a foundation on. I basically use this as my concealer foundation combination, and then I'll put a slightly coverage powder, mostly like a finishing powder on top of it, and I really like how that looks. I ended up using this 21 times within the past month, and then this is currently going in my Shop My Stash also. Additionally, another high runner was the Mario Badescu facial spray. This is in the green tea aloe. I like this paired with that IT Cosmetics Bye Under Eye concealer. That concealer can sometimes be a little bit dry, just because it is so full coverage. It does dry down pretty quickly. So I find if I spray my face after I apply the concealer down, I'll spray my face with this and then blend it out, and I just get the best blend that way. I've found without spraying my face with this product, it can stick to certain areas and you have to really work a little harder to get it to blend out, but I feel like once I lubricate it a little bit with some facial mist, it's totally fine. It's just really helped and really changed the game for me with my cream makeup products. So the third most used complexion product I have from the past month is my Franken loose powder that I have in this container here. This is a combination of my Makeup Revolution translucent setting powder, a JCat luminizing pearlescent powder, and then the Laura Mercier translucent blotting powder. I butchered that. Translucent blotting powder. So that's what's in here. I really like this. This is my daily under eye setting powder. I literally use it every single time I do my makeup. I put it under my eyes. I'm just whittling away those loose powder containers as much as I can to try to get the most use out of them as I can. Ripley, you're being silly right now. Please just chill. Then my last product within the over 15 use category is actually an eyeliner, and that is my daily tight line color. This is the Essence Stay and Play liner in the shade But First Espresso. It's just a no-nonsense. I've been using it every single day since it's come into my collection earlier this year, earlier as in January early. But I've really been enjoying this. It gets the job done. It does a nice tight line, and I don't really have much to say about it. Out of these products, my definite standout product within the over 15 uses, it actually shocked me. I wasn't expecting it, but my favorite product within this over 15 uses is the Mario Badescu Green Facial Spray. This has really just game-changed cream products for me lately, and I don't know if maybe it's because we're getting to the cooler months of the year, and it's just my skin's a bit more dried out, so it needs a little bit of extra moisture to feel and like blend well, but this has been really game changing for my cream products, layering on my skin nicer than previously. So I definitely will be repurchasing products or like any of the scents of this. I kind of want to try the orange one. I don't know if that one's going to be too perfumey. I really like the green one. I don't know if I want to like switch it and try something else, you know? All right, moving to the products I used 10 to 15 times. Starting with the item I used 14 times because I actually didn't use anything 15 times within the past month. But I'm kicking it off with the most used in that area, and that is my Beauty Bakery Snackaroons bronzer. This is in the shade I Don't Give a Sip. It is a very orangey toned bronzer. I liked it more for like the summer months where I had definitely a deeper tan going on. However, it's just a little bit too orange for me right now as we're kind of transitioning to the cooler months. I'm finding myself wanting to reach for other bronzers over this one. So this might just be something I want to hit pan in next year. Actually, the next two products we have to talk about, I've only used 10 times, so the very bottom of the threshold bucket. But I ended up using 2 items 10 times. One I was really happy of because I finished the product, and one I was really happy with because I really started to like the product. So the first one was my NYX Bare With Me Setting Spray. This is actually, I've been putting my Mario Badescu spray into this because the mister on this is so much nicer than the Mario spray. This has a very fine, beautiful, just kind of mist where it just really finely sprays onto the face, whereas this one's a little aggressive and just does those like sudden kind of bursts. However, this was really nice. It's not too drying. It did set the makeup down pretty nicely. I could kind of do the same thing where I could layer this on with the Mario Badescu one and then blend out my concealers. But since this is like a primer setting spray, I really didn't want to use it for that purpose when a facial spray is there to add hydration to the skin. So to me, it was just like a little bit different steps. But I did end up using this one when it was at the bottom of the mister. That's when I kind of was like, all right, I'm just going to use this as the moistening of the cream products because it does at the very bottom have a hard time spraying that fine beautiful mist because there's not enough product in it. Then the last product I had in this rotation is another one you would have seen me talk about in my unofficial, or no, you would have heard me talk about this sometime recently, and that is the Ulta Beauty Matte Finishing Powder in Light Neutral. This I brought with me on vacation to Las Vegas and just really started liking it again and really have just given myself the okay to try to use it as much as possible. I have a pretty significant pan in here, as you can see, so letting myself just go hog wild with it as I want to right now has let me just expand the pan ever so slightly, I'm sure. Did I take a before and after picture? No, because that wasn't the point of me reaching for this. I just really started to like this again and have been really enjoying this as of late. In that grouping of products, the 3 items I used within that amount of times, I feel like it's not fair to count the setting spray because it is empty. So I am going to go with the Matte Finishing Powder by Ulta Beauty because out of these 2, I definitely prefer the matte finishing powder. And then the other items that I had used were project pan items within that threshold, so I don't want to talk about that. All right, next we have the items I used 5 to 9 times to talk about. I only have 3 items in this section too because another one was a project pan item and it's a pretty juicy one and I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to work my way back from the least favorite to my most favorite. I think that'll be fun for this category. This guy here, this is my blush from BareMinerals. This is in the shade Luminary. I think it's a really pretty blush, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just the wrong time of year for this. This one I think is better for late November into December because it is a little bit more of a cool toned kind of pink. Or maybe I just haven't figured out how I really like this the most yet. So this is just my least favorite that I used within the 5 to 9 use category. So the next product is this product here. This is the Fenty Beauty Champ Stamp Fantasy Gloss Bomb. This is a mini gloss bomb that was sent to me from Haley. And actually I made pretty good progress in this and I'm done with it. now. I did have this on my desk and I was using it here and there, but I'm at the point where I consider this the backwash of lip gloss, so I am so not interested in using this product anymore. It was really beautiful. I really liked it when I was using it. I got some good use out of it. It was like 2 solid months of dedicated use of like, this was my sole lip gloss for 2 months. Then my favorite product that I used within that grouping, and you'll have actually seen this in my Shop My Stash, and that's because of the way that I've been really enjoying this, is my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette. This is just so pretty. I'm wearing 2 of the shades today. I'm wearing these 2 today. The top one here, Twilight, and then Gravity, the brown. So I'm wearing those 2 today on my cheeks. I think that this is just such a pretty palette. I have now reached for every single shade within this palette, and I really, truly enjoy this so much. I had a blush itch this year, and I have completely scratched that itch now that I have this palette and the Nude Prism palette in as well. But this was by far my favorite within the grouping for the 5 to 9 uses. I'm so happy about this one. I love it. I am moving down to the items I used 1 to 4 times. It is by far the largest assortment of items I have in front of me. I am going to separate this and go through items by category in this area, not by usage, because I have a lot to talk about. Primers, I had 2 primers I used 1 to 4 times. I have my NYX Marsh Mellow primer and then my AOA Cosmic Cowgirl primer. I love both of these for very different reasons. This has been my go-to-work primer that just holds my makeup down all day long, and then this is just my favorite primer in my collection, the NYX Marshmallow one. So I've really been enjoying reaching for these and just giving myself the okay to reach for them. I have NYX Marshmallow on today, actually. Another, it's kind of a primer step, but I count it more as like a foundation or like a cream foundation step, is a skin tint. The e.l.f. Halo Glow in the shade 2. I have this on also today. I really like this. It does give a really beautiful glow to the skin, but it doesn't offer a ton of coverage. So I like it just to, again, give myself a tint to the skin. I don't find myself really craving high coverage foundations anymore. I like a high coverage concealer that I'll dot around the face, but I really like more of a tint kind of product than anything. It's either a tint or a loose foundation, pressed foundation that I can just do a light coverage with anymore. I did have the BareMinerals Original Foundation in the shade Golden Ivory. This is almost maybe a little too deep for me right now. This is like my dead of summer color, and I didn't wear it this summer for some reason. I know why. I was focusing on other items within my collection, but I really love this. This is one of my favorite products in general. Something else that's become quickly a favorite, the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Airbrush Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder. Not in that order. It's fine. The name is very long. I have mine in the shade medium. This is just a beautiful, beautiful powder. I can't open it apparently with my nails, but the shade range runs light. I like it because it's so densely pressed that I don't feel like I ever go overboard with this product when I use it. So I really like it because of that. I also used my Laura Mercier Translucent Blotting Powder Ultra Blur. This does tend to set things down in a little bit deeper tone than normal, but it is a really lovely, beautiful powder. It's very, very microfine, soft. I really enjoy this. I mix this in with my Franken powder when I do use that. I used 2 highlights within this rotation. We'll talk about this one first. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Celestial Lights. I only ended up using that middle shade. That is the shade Whirlwind. I used that. I will link the video. I don't remember what video I used this in. It was something. I really liked it though. It looked really pretty. I enjoyed this. The other shades in the palette, especially Dark Star, is a little bit too out there for a highlight shade for me personally, but I do like it. It's really pretty. Would make a good eyeshadow. Dancing Lights is my favorite in the palette though. Another highlight, by far my favorite highlight out of the couple that I use that's not a Project Pan one, is the Space Age Gifted highlight. And if you missed it in my Shop My Stash, I actually shared that I hit pan in that shade within the past month. This was so fun. I really enjoyed this one. This is such a beautiful shade. It looks really green from where I'm looking at it. It looks a little bit more purpley from where you're looking at it. It's just such a fun highlight shade. Bronzers, next, I have used 2 within the past month. I have used my absolute favorite currently. This is the AOA Studios Perfect Bronze in the shade Latte. This is a nice neutral toned, not too warm, not too cool. It's like my favorite bronzer shade anymore. Perfect, as the name would suggest. Then something I've been enjoying as I have like wanted to avoid orange toned bronzers. Maybe I'm wearing an orange toned blush. Like today, I have a orangey toned blush, so I opted for my contour shade actually. This is Velvet Taupe. Technically, this is an eyeshadow, but I moved it into my bronzer category because I do use it more as a contour. It's just a cool toned brown. This is what I'm wearing today. I think it looks pretty nice as a very easy contour. I used 4 different blushes, actually more because one's a blush palette, but I'm counting it as like one item. So I used another of my BareMinerals loose blushes. This is an Afterglow. I like this one more than Luminary. It's a little bit more neutral leaning than anything, and it's also just a different shade. So it's a little bit lighter than Luminary, so it just looks better on my skin tone. This is the one I brought with me on vacation. I don't even remember using this one, but I did use my Colourpop Sailor Moon collab in Cat's Eye. I don't remember using this. I don't remember when I used this, but I always do appreciate and like when I use this. This is the Benefit Wanderlust Blush in the shade, I think that was what this is called. I don't know. In the shade Sunny, this is just a nice orange peach. It's got like a neutral natural sheen, but it doesn't have like a finish. Maybe satin, maybe that's the better. I don't know. It's not like completely flat in my opinion. It just has a really nice way about it, like a nice reflect to it, but it's not a highlight. It's not sparkly. It just has a nice sheen to it. I don't know how to explain it. Then the Nude Prism palette was the other blush palette I used, and I can almost guarantee I didn't reach for every shade in this. I probably only reached for 2 shades. This is really nice. It's these 2 pops of color that kind of put me off from reaching for this, but those are just super neutral shades. I feel like maybe I should try using this. But I really like this. I really enjoyed my Lunar Beauty blush palettes. As we know, one of them ranked supreme. Only other setting spray I used within the month was my Tarte Shape Tape Stay Spray. I like this. It has a nice cucumber scent. Its mister is reminiscent of the NYX Bear With Me, which has a very fine mist. But even still, the NYX mister is a little bit better than this one in general. But this one does hold makeup down really well throughout the day. This has been the one I've been using when I go to work. I'm going to go to my eye products next because I only want to talk about eyeliners within this video because we talk about eyeshadows in my eye bank, and I have another couple videos planned for later this month for favorites. I used 5 other eyeliners within the past month. An assortment of colors, really. These are all the eyeliners I ended up using. We have All Time Olive NYX Epic Wear. I have the Camu-Camu shade by Natasha Denona in their Macro Tech liners. This is actually pretty dry at this point. I used this today as well, and it's pretty dried out. I'm pretty disappointed in terms of the longevity of how long this has felt nice for. Even when it was new, I never thought it was like the most creamy formula. The Essence Stay and Play in Silky Nude, that one's gorgeous. Wear that all the time. Another one that I repurchased and brought into my collection. One I'm really sad about running low on. It's not even like close to being gone, but I know I can't get this anymore because it was limited edition, but it's such a beautiful periwinkle shade. This is the shade Lunar Landing by Urban Decay. This was the Robin Eisenberg collab they did a couple years ago. I really like this. I need to focus on this maybe next year in a Project Pan kind of thing. And then my favorite eyeliner, the LA Girl Shockwave liner in the shade Fresh. This is just my favorite eyeliner shade in general. I definitely will repurchase this once it's gone. Then we have lip products. We're going to go category by category within my lip products, and I'm going to kick it off with my lip liners. Apart from my Project Pan lip liner that's in my end of year Project Pan, I did use these two liners as well. This is the Buxom Power Line in the shade Savvy Sienna. I think this one was, I don't know, this one was either limited edition or maybe the other one. I don't know. I ended up using this one. I really like it. I like the formula of these Buxom Power Lines. My only issue is I feel like if I twist them up to mark them anywhere, I end up snapping them almost every time. So my heart of heart tells me I shouldn't twist them up, but I like to track progress. One that's definitely drier, and I see myself needing to put the pedal to the metal on this eventually, if I even can finish it. This is the Kiko Milano lip liner in the shade 316. This is just a like dark mauve toned liner. This is nice with like really lightly lining the lips and then putting a nice gloss on top of it. But I wore this a couple times to the office and liked it. I only have 3 lipsticks that I ended up using within the past month. Most of them were used in videos, so I don't really have much to talk about with them. I have a Joa lip whip. They don't make these anymore. I'm not gonna waste my breath talking about it because it doesn't really matter. I have the Kiko Gossamer Emotion lipstick in 105. They don't make this anymore. I am trying to finish this year. Probably won't. And then I have the Hourglass Unlocked Satin Cream lipstick in the shade Alpine. I wore it once for a video and then didn't even record. Everything else was lip glosses. I have a lot of lip glosses actually to talk about. So I ended up using 2 NYX glosses. I have the This Is Milky gloss in Cookies and Milk. I'm actually pretty happy there's progress in there. I'm right above This Is. I don't know if you can see the window in there, maybe. I am wearing this today. It's probably kind of gone at this point. I wore this with another product on top of it. Yeah, I don't like this one necessarily by itself that much, but I do like this layered with other products, or if I'm wearing my brown lip pencil, I'll put this on and it really cools down the brown and it makes it look really pretty with other like cool toned eye looks. I also used the NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie. This is a no-nonsense kind of gloss. It is a little bit more milky kind of gloss. Not like the NYX This Is Milky, obviously, but it does have that pale peach kind of color to it, so it does tend to look milkier on my lips that tend to lean a little bit more pink mauve. I used 2 of the Fenty Cream Gloss Bombs. I used the shade Cupcakin', which is this like mid-tone brighter pink, and then I used Fenty Mauve Wives, which is my preferred of the 2. I definitely like Mauve Wives more. It just looks less exaggerating on my lips than Cupcakin' or the other pink one I have in my collection do. This neutral or like this cool toned mauve looks really good on my lips. It looks like a My Lips But Better kind of shade. It doesn't look too exaggeraty or like make it look like someone just like I punched my lips or something. You know, like if you bite your lips and it looks like big and shiny. I feel like that's what the pink one does. It makes me look like I have like irritated lips. I also used one of my favorite products. I took this on vacation with me because I could not be apart with it. This is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Shift. This is in the shade Kiwi. It is one of those pH balancing lip products. I don't like it because of that reason. I like these Maracuja Juicy Plump, whatever is in this packaging format, the Maracuja line lip products, I like them. And then something that I've been dabbling into more is trying to use my Fantasy Cosmetica lip oils more often. And what better time of year to use the more out there kind of shades than within October. So I did give myself permission to use the 2 darker of the shades within the Fantasy Cosmetica lip oil line. These are so fun. They're so beautiful. This is the shade Ancient One, which is this deep purple. This looks really pretty. I wore this in a video with, again, the NYX Milky Gloss, and I really liked it. This one definitely has a little bit more opaque of a sheen to it. Smells like grapes. Really lovely. Really enjoy this one. The other one is in the shade Demon. It is more sheer, but it can pull definitely more cool tone and definitely darken lip products underneath it out. What I like about this one is there is like almost holographic shimmer inside of this, but it's like so microfine, just kind of gives that gloss like a nice sheen kind of thing. But it does have like a bunch of different glitter colors in here, so it looks really interesting and really cool. The scent out of this one is my least favorite so far. This is like bubblegum scented. It smells like bubblegum. And that's just like, out of all of them, that's my least favorite scent so far, because all of the other ones have like really fruity, juicy smelling scents and then bubblegum. And I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, this is the one I was wearing with the NYX Milky Gloss today. And that's all of the products within the 1 to 4 times use. I know it was a lot. It was a lot. And I pulled a few items because this was such a large grouping of products. I really liked reaching for the e.l.f. Halo Glow, so much so that it's in my current Shop My Stash rotation. I'm really enjoying that. I've actually made a decent amount of progress in this. When I had it standing up, I'm right here in the E, and I really haven't reached for this a lot. So any amount of progress I feel like is a huge win. I also really am so happy and really enjoyed and loved using my Kaleido Space Age Gifted Highlight, especially because I hit pan in that shade. I was so happy about that. I love these kind of eyeliner shades, so these were definitely top winners in the rotation as well. And then my favorite lip product, I keep saying it, I find a way to say it, it's the Maracuja Juicy Lip Shift, the Lip Plump, anything in this like rose gold packaging. These are just so good and definitely always rank high when I use them. Out of all of the products I used within the past month, these 8 here reigned the most supreme. I have kind of my face products here and then like my fun products there. You'll have to let me know if you also track your makeup usage. Let me know the products that you use the most within the month of October. I would love to know. Any products that you saw within this assortment that you like, you hate, let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in your opinions. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!